Have you been planning for an early retirement but aren't sure how to go about it or what steps to take? Here's a non-traditional strategy that you can explore. Imagine retiring and traveling the world 6 years from now, wandering around the Acropolis in Athens, or sipping a cocktail while relaxing on Balos Beach, enjoying the peace that comes from having enough money to pursue your dreams and being completely out of the rat race is more possible than you have imagined. But how do you get there? Low income is among the top reasons many workers are less confident about saving enough for retirement. As of 2020, the median household income in the US was around $67,000. That's according to the Census Bureau. Now, typically, at least around $500,000 is needed for retirement. But retirees only have around $190,000 saved on average, according to a recent study by Cane Island Digital Research. So, because of these challenges, many investors and workers now consider Bitcoin and other digital assets to jumpstart their retirement funds. For example, due to popular demand, Fidelity, a leading US mutual fund company, recently announced that it's going to be offering investors the option to add Bitcoin to their 401k retirement account. The word retire technically means to remove yourself from a situation. But in reality, retiring is about starting a new chapter of your life. It's not just about leaving the workforce. It's about beginning again, starting new. And it's important to consider what this new chapter will look like and how much you will need to make the most of it. So first off, we need to figure out how much money we're gonna need to retire comfortably. So many experts suggest that you need 10 to 12 times your current annual salary to enjoy a great retirement. However, there is no one-size-fits-all number when it comes to how much you're gonna need to retire. See, it all depends on your lifestyle and your spending, not now, but in retirement. So this might seem overwhelming, especially when you're unsure where to start, but here's a very helpful rule. Your savings should be enough to cover you for 30 years if you're withdrawing around 4% a year. So how much money you need really depends on you, okay? Estimates range from a few $100,000 to sky's the limit. So for this video, let's settle on 1.6 million. With this amount, you can comfortably survive in the US after retirement for 30 years without needing any additional source of income, okay? But how can you make 1.6 million? Like, let's keep it real, y'all. And how much Bitcoin are you going to need to retire by 2030? So to make this video even more helpful, I'm going to address 4 different scenarios based on not my opinion, but expert predictions, okay? We're gonna do a bear case, a realistic case, the bull case, and the moonshot, all right? Like, so here's the bear case. Bitcoin is very attractive because of the potential returns you can achieve simply by holding just a few. This year, Bitcoin hit an all-time high of over 73,000, and I don't think it's done. So if you'd invested in Bitcoin only 5 years ago, your money would have increased 5-fold. There are times when the market's sluggish and Bitcoin's growth slows or drops. You gotta understand Bitcoin if you're gonna invest in it. So in today's market though, with a current price of around 65,000, if we're to predict a bear market, let's estimate Bitcoin might reach $100,000 by 2030, okay? Very bearish. So many predictions in 2021, they were banking on Bitcoin hitting 100,000, me included. All right, it came close to it this year, reaching nearly 75,000. And there's a lot of anticipation that it's gonna be 100,000 by year end. But if by 2030, Bitcoin hovers around 100,000, that could be seen as a very bear market and a big letdown. So in this scenario, you need around 16 Bitcoin to retire comfortably. So let's say you buy your Bitcoin at 65,000. That means you'd have to invest right around $1 million today. Now, if you don't have $1 million sitting around, stick around. There's hope for you, okay? By 2030, when Bitcoin would have hit $100,000, your portfolio would be up and have grown around 54%. Now, that's not as impressive as one might hope. It's not bad, like, let's be real. But in the crypto world, where returns can be crazy wild, it's not that great. So unless you're already just got boatloads of cash, at this rate, you're not going to be able to invest enough in Bitcoin to retire by 2030 and enjoy a vacation in Greece. But don't lose hope just yet, okay? The next case looks way more promising. If Bitcoin follows the trend predicted by many experts, you might still find yourself lounging and chilling on the beautiful Grecian beaches. Okay, here's the realistic scenario. Analysis from major crypto investors and financial analysts point to an upward trend for Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin has surged in value after every halving phase. There's other videos on what a halving is. By the time you watch this video, a halving will have occurred. So there's an expectation for the value to skyrocket as it has historically. The last halving saw Bitcoin's price surge from around $8,500 to around $69,000 within 1 year. So realistically, we could see a similar trajectory this time, with estimates pegging Bitcoin at around $400,000 by 2030. So if 400K pans out, you won't need a mountain of Bitcoin to reach your retirement goal of 1.6 million. You'd need about 4 Bitcoin, which would, in today's money, run you around $260,000. Okay? If Bitcoin hits 400K by 2030, your portfolio will have shot up 515%, and that is serious growth. But hold on, okay? It gets even better. Are you ready for the bullish scenario? I said, are you ready? Okay, here's the bullish scenario. Cathie Wood, a prominent Bitcoin advocate and founder of ARK Investment, a firm that heavily invested in Bitcoin, has an even more optimistic forecast, okay? She is confident that Bitcoin will skyrocket to 1.48 million by 2030. Does your mind just go, bleh? Okay, we're on the same page. Pay attention. But this isn't just wishful thinking, okay? Wood's confidence stems from Bitcoin's resilience following the collapse of major banks in 2023. While traditional banks faltered, Bitcoin only surged higher. This showcased Bitcoin's role as a secure store of value, resistant to major banking crises. Additionally, the recent approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF has made it even more appealing to the public. This increased demand could further boost its value over time. So reaching just shy of 1.5 million by 2030 might just be within Bitcoin's reach. See, if Bitcoin reaches these heights, you would only need 1.08 Bitcoin to retire by 2030 and step away from the office and the corporate rat race for the next 30 years. Okay, this investment would currently cost you around $70,000. Imagine that investing $70,000 today would give you 1.6 million in 6 years. With this, your portfolio would have increased over 2,100%. Now, you might be wondering how credible all this sounds, right? Like, you're asking, Mike, is this a clown show right now? No, it's not, okay? Remember, ARK Investment isn't simply throwing around wild guesses. They've analyzed data trends and considered macro and micro factors before making their prediction, all right? Cathie Wood has pointed out that the collapse of banks like Silvergate, Signature, Silicon Valley Bank, due to withdrawal pressures, she sees Bitcoin as a solid hedge or bet against counterparty risk. Investing in Bitcoin, Cathie argues, could help avert a repeat in the 2008 financial crisis meltdown. See, given the fact that Bitcoin is decentralized and has transparent transactions, unlike the regional banks that are now going bankrupt, it's a better alternative. But if you think Cathie Wood and ARK's prediction is promising, wait until you hear this next case. And smash that like, all right? It's even more exciting. This is a moonshot case. And in my opinion, it's not if it's going to happen, it's more a question of when it will happen. So it's genuinely possible for anyone to become a millionaire in the next 6 years if they believe in the potential of Bitcoin and invest appropriately. Let's take a closer look. Michael Saylor has been a vocal advocate for Bitcoin for many years, arguing that it will surpass gold as a store of value asset in the near future, okay? So what's even more compelling is that he's not just making predictions, he's actively investing. With his company, MicroStrategy, they recently purchased about 9,245 Bitcoin for $623 million. This brings their total holdings to 193,000 Bitcoin. And that current value is at 12.5 billion with a B, okay? And that represents 1% of all Bitcoin that will ever be created. One company owns. Michael also personally owns over 17,000 Bitcoin. But here's the point. He predicts Bitcoin is going to soar to around 4.7 million per coin, pushing Bitcoin's market cap to as high as 100 trillion with the T, okay? With this new prediction, to reach your retirement goal of 1.6 million, you would only need to invest about 0.35 Bitcoin today, allowing you to fund your entire 30-year retirement, perhaps even while mountain climbing in the Himalayas. And here's the kicker. Just investing $23,000 to realize 1.6 million in 6 years sounds a bit unbelievable, okay? I'll even say that. But this means your portfolio could increase by over 7,100%. Incredible, right? So if Michael Saylor's prediction becomes a reality, you've got a golden ticket to becoming a millionaire in the next 6 years and retiring for good. However exciting this may sound, due to Bitcoin's volatility, it's crucial to practice risk management, okay? Do not YOLO, do not go blindly into investing all of your retirement in Bitcoin, okay? I'm not advising that. Like all investments, whether it's stocks or real estate, there's no guarantees, all right? So instead, consider setting aside a specific amount monthly for your Bitcoin portfolio. Stay committed to this plan until you accumulate the desired number of Bitcoin to help you retire by 2030. And there's a link below where you can use the company I use to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Now, here's an intriguing recommendation based on assumptions from a study by Cane Island. The report assumes a minimum annual percentage return from Bitcoin of 19.56% from 2023 to 2042. Based on this assumption, it suggests the following for different age groups. So if you're young and you're 25, okay, aim for a minimum of 2.44 Bitcoin if planning to retire at age 45 with 3.9 million in savings, okay? Aim for a minimum of 1.08 Bitcoin if planning to retire at 65 with 6.4 million in savings. And ain't nobody doing this, but aim for a minimum of 0.72 Bitcoin if planning to retire at 72 with 7 million in savings, okay? Now, for those of you who are 35, aim for a minimum of 1.84 Bitcoin if planning to retire at 59 with 3.8 million. If you want to retire with 4.3 million at the age of 65, plan to save 1.4 Bitcoin, okay? And if you want to work till 72, don't know why you would, but you could retire at the age of 72 with $4.8 million with only 0.96 Bitcoin, all right? As mentioned earlier, while these possibilities can excite you, resist the temptation to put all your eggs in just one basket. And if you do, you better get freaking educated, and it's not because of anything I'm saying. Okay? Now, as you're buying Bitcoin, get secure storage for your Bitcoin, okay? It's crucial to keep it safe from hacks or bankruptcies of centralized exchanges where technically you don't own your crypto, just like when money's in a bank, the bank has your money, okay? Consider using a cold storage wallet for added security. I've included a link below for you to get one from a company that I personally use. Now, let's also be real. It's pretty freaking hard not to get excited about the prospect of any of these price predictions, except 100,000. But aside from that one, all these predictions coming true are awesome. And it could mean that holding Bitcoin today could be the ticket to the retirement lifestyle of your dreams. So remember, while it's exciting to envision retirement with Bitcoin, do your own research before diving in. And to learn more, be sure to watch this video here, or here, or here or wherever it is, and you keep living your life to the fullest. Peace.